Class and classmates. Today, Jorge Quintanilla, Ilich Rosales, and Lemus are going to talk about different ways to avoid plagiarism. Well, to start, I'm going to talk about two different ways and easy ways to avoid plagiarism. The first one is a summary. Well, summary is the one that us as students are most familiarized with. The summary is a condensed version of the original text. For example, if the original text is a chapter, minimum the summary should be 1 page. Or if the summary is about one chapter, the summary should be a couple of lines. The second one I'm going to talk about is quotation. Quotation seems very easy because the only thing you need to do is to copy exact the original text. But that's wrong. Why? Because only 33% of the essay should be in quotations. And also, when you quotate, you're going to quotate when you think that the thing you're going to write is going to lose importance, or is going to lose some important things that the original writer has written.
Hi, I'm Ilich Rosales, and I'm going to speak a little bit about what's paraphrase. Paraphrase is it's a different technique that can avoid you getting into plagiarism and copying exactly the work of another author. So I'm going to speak about 3 different techniques that can help you in your work and avoiding plagiarism. First is embedding the author's name in your text, or including the author's name in your text. First, you can do this by including the author's name after using a word such as according to, or suggesting that the author said. You can include the author's name, and by this you will be saying that he said this information and that it's his work, and you won't be getting into plagiarism. Another technique it's restating your words. If you restate the sentences and your words, you won't be saying the exact same words as the author, and also you can use synonyms to change some words so it won't be exactly the same words. And by doing this, you're avoiding using the exact words that the author said, and you will be avoiding plagiarism. And finally, a very good technique is including your opinion. By including your opinion, you will be saying your own words and mixing them with the author's, and by this you will be creating your own work. However, you always need to include the author's name and in the sources, so you can avoid plagiarism at all. And finally, I think that these techniques are very important to study them, since we as students we tend to get into plagiarism, and we should definitely need to know these techniques to avoid this major problem that causes much trouble in university, in schools, and etc.
As my partner said, when you quotate the things that you want to comment or you want to discuss, you gotta make sure you cite at the end of the paragraph or the text or the article or whatever you're doing. You need to write the bibliography, including the author, including the year, the name of the book, or the name of the article, or whatever source you take that information from. It is really important that you take in account that things, for example, that the water is odorless and tasteless. Things like our common sense, you have not necessarily to cite or to put in quotations or in irritations. It is really important for you to write on your own, to have your own style, to have originality, because society, that's the way it works. Originality, if we were not original, we wouldn't be succeeding day by day. But you gotta make sure that your things that you're doing, the things that you're writing, have not been written before. So you gotta make sure, for example, you're making a song,
you gotta make sure that no one else has written that song or the music. You need to take care. You need to make sure that the author of the song or another song uses the same music as well. When you use quotations, you need to take into account the amount of words you gotta use in each quotation. For example, when you are writing an academic article and you want to discuss an idea, you gotta make sure what type of idea you're discussing. Because if it's become from a literature article, you gotta take only a few words, and with that words you gotta discuss whatever you want to say, because you need to give your point of view. And when other people look for an article, they got another points of view.
Well, it's Francisco again. I wanted to remind you that to avoid plagiarism, what you must do in most of the cases to avoid it is to write the paper in your own words, not copying exactly, because when you write it on your own words, it's like if you're making it up yours, but with the words of another person. Also, you need to remind to use quotations to do the summary. No me pasé que más decir.
Hi, it's Ilich again. Now I'm going to talk about a little about the consequences of plagiarism. Plagiarism, for example, here in Zamorano, it's a major, for it to say a crime. In the real world, it's actually a crime. Some people may even have gone to jail, but here in Zamorano, it's a penalty that cannot be forgiven, since you're copying somebody else's work. So it will be like copying exactly from one classmate's exam and putting his words on your and claiming that are yours. So the penalty and the consequences of plagiarism are really big and important, and they are so important that we just can't ignore them. So we need to be conscious of the consequences that this major crime brings to us. For example, I was reading a case about an English teacher in the States that she had to explain to her students' parents that his child had received a grade of 0 on his exam and his work, since he only used he did a 3-page essay, and he put at the beginning of the essay he put a quotation, at the end he put a quotation. Now she had to explain to her parents that he had to receive a 0 grade because he didn't include a bibliography and an intern bibliography, and he didn't write the author's name in the text. So we can see that this student could have avoided plagiarism by using the techniques that we said before. Now, that's why I believe that we have to be conscious of the consequences to avoid embarrassment and low grades. Thank you.